Yo, what is going on, everyone? My name is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, and today I'm joined with Max the Animal yet again, the second time on the channel for him. Huge congratulations to him. Obviously, a huge honor to be on here. But
It's great to be here.
yeah, it's a humongous honor. It's like winning the Oscars or something. But in
Maybe
this
one day.
Yeah, exactly. In this video, we're going to be grading Dynasty rosters that have been sent into me from Twitter and a couple other avenues. If you guys want to get your team graded, maybe Max will come back on in a month. We'll do it again. Who knows? You never know. Or I could do it with someone else. You never know. But
I have a schedule. It's not that busy right now, so
yeah, exactly. It's wide open. So we're going to be grading all these teams, talking about them. And if you guys want your team graded, like I said, send it in. Follow me on Twitter. It's down below. Follow Max on Twitter. Do all that stuff. So the first team here, it's going to pop onto your screen right now. If I could figure out how to edit it, I assume I could. So team one, Andrew Fisher. This is a 10-team half PPR league. He has the 207, 307, 409, and 509 for 2020. Now his roster construction is like this. His quarterback is Dak Prescott. His two wideouts are Keenan Allen and Devontae Parker. His two running backs are McCaffrey and Fournette. His tight end is Travis Kelce. His flex is Chris Carson. His bench is comprised of a bunch of people because it's a Dynasty League. Obviously, we got Ryan Tannehill, Joe Mixon, Rashad Perryman, TB12, Kyler Murray / Boston Scott, Ian Thomas, Rashad Penny, Will Dissly, Eric Ebron, Randall Cobb, Kyler Murray, Corey Davis, Zach Pascal, Sammy Watkins, Larry Fitz, Malcolm Brown, Gronk, Bonifon, the backup for CMC, Steinberger, the tight end, and Andy Luck. So that is obviously, it's a big team. It's a Dynasty team. What do you think about this team? You got it on your phone, obviously.
So overall, there's a couple of guys that I right off the bat I like, and they're untradeable to me right now. And that's Christian McCaffrey, Dak Prescott, and Travis Kelce. I'm not moving either, and Joe Mixon too. Joe Mixon is probably one of my top 3 or 4 Dynasty running backs at the moment because I think you're gonna see that explosion coming once they get that team together. So right off the bat, those guys I love. Overall, it's a solid team. The only guys I like to trade in Dynasty. I like to make some moves. The two guys I'm looking to move like immediately because they have some value right now. Leonard Fournette, who I really do like Leonard Fournette. I just think his value is probably the highest you're going to be able to get for him right now. And I would love to trade Tom Brady because it's Dynasty, and obviously we know his clock is ticking right now.
I like that. I don't think that there's anything really wrong with this roster. He also has the defensive players, but I don't know anything about IDP. I don't know about you. I've never
I'm not
once
going
played
to
that.
that.
Not going to comment on that, but I definitely think that I honestly think I might trade Joe Mixon because right now he is at an all-time high of value. I love Joe Mixon personally, but I just think that what happens if Joe Burrow isn't that good? What happens if the offensive line sucks as always? So and they're screwed.
That's a fair thing to say, but the fact is we saw it towards the end of the last season. Mixon was exploding.
Yeah.
He was having a great week every week. So the fact that they're only going to get better. Joe Burrow's obviously a step up from. Andy Dalton's a decent quarterback, but I don't think he has any star ability in him. Hopefully, Joe Burrow will bring that, and then you're going to have the offensive line be put back together in Cincinnati. So I think Joe Mixon's in for a big year.
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. Now, obviously, he has Andrew Luck on his roster, and stuff is coming out how the GMs and stuff, they're meeting with Luck, this, that, and the other thing. Do you think that Luck will ever play again? No. For me,
I personally don't think so. I'd maybe hold on to him for one more season, unless someone wants to give you something for him. If you can get a pick, I'd take a 4th-round pick for him. At this point, who cares? You don't really think Andrew Luck's going to play again, so just get something for him. Maybe that 4th-round pick will turn into something. I doubt it, but you never know with these rookie drafts. There's always a diamond in the rough somewhere.
Exactly. I think this team overall is very good. Like you said at the beginning, this is probably like a B+ roster to me. The regular roster construction, if you're not talking about the bench, is very, very good. And the bench is very strong as well. Obviously, a guy like Gronk, I don't know. You can hold him, I guess. I don't think he'll ever play again.
I'd probably drop him at this point. I don't think he's even worth a roster spot. He's not coming back. He's lost like 30, 40 pounds. There's no way he's going to be playing in the NFL again. Other than that, he's got a lot of depth. So, yeah, I'd give him a solid B+ rating. Kyler Murray in Dynasty, I like that. That's a good hold. That's a good hold right now.
Yeah, no, he has two great quarterbacks. He has Dak and Kyler Murray. Now, that would almost make you think maybe you want to move one of them, but I don't know. It's not super flex league. So
no, even if it's not super flex, I like to have that depth. You never know, especially with Dak right now with the whole contract situation. So I would definitely hold on both of those. I'd try and move Tom Brady though, see if you can
Okay.
get something.
Yeah, definitely move Brady to some guy who needs a quarterback for 1 year or 2 years because Brady is going to be out of the NFL, I'd assume, within the next 2 years, you would think.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can't any longer than 2 years. I don't really look 2 years past 2 years when it comes to dynasty. So that's like kind of
Uh,
my window.
Okay. All right. So now we got the second team here submitted by Felix on Twitter. 12-team PPR tight end premium. So that means obviously you get it's regular PPR, so it's a point and a half. Super flex, and he's the 101 in 2020. He gets to do whatever he wants with that. Now his roster construction right now, he has Lamar Jackson, Dalvin Cook, Tariq Cohen, Cortland Sutton, Terry McLaurin, Robbie Woods, Ertz, Preston Williams, Larry Fitz, Drew Lock, Robert Griffin III, Mariota, Slater, Chris Thompson, Riddick, oh my God, I'm sorry, Ty Montgomery, Myles Gaskin, LaShawn McCoy, Kenny Stills, Philip Dorsett, Zach Pascal, Dante Pettis, St. Brown from Green Bay, Doyle, Ricky Seals-Jones, and Jimmy Graham. So what are you thinking about this roster? This is a tight end premium league, so obviously got to get those tight ends. So what are you thinking?
Tight end premium. I like the Ertz. I like to have Ertz there, but it's dynasty, so we're looking at the fact that he probably has only a few more years of being that top tight end, and we already saw Dallas Goedert's kind of stealing some snaps from him a little bit.
Mhm.
So I mean, I'd hold on to him probably for this year and then try and move him. I do like Cortland Sutton a lot. Cortland Sutton, Lamar Jackson, and Dalvin Cook. Those are like your three studs on this roster, and then Terry McLaurin too. I mean, he's got the good, the bones. The bones are there for this roster. The depth could use a little work. There's some shaky players on the bench for sure. Like Myles Gaskin, LaShawn McCoy.
Yeah.
Kenny Stills I like, except it's like he's a fringe player. He's a good, depth guy. You have him for a little bit. You pop him in 1 week, and that's it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, I'd probably give this, if I was to grade this, Preston Williams is nice. He's on the IR, but that's nice too.
Mm-hmm.
I'd give him a B minus.
Yeah.
Because that Lamar Jackson is so valuable. And then Drew Lock in there too in the super flex. It's a nice youth quarterback to have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping. Marcus Mariota, I haven't given up on yet. I've actually been trying to acquire Marcus Mariota in dynasty leagues because his value is low. And if he does get another chance to restart his career on another team, I mean, maybe with the Patriots, who knows?
You never know.
It'd be a great asset to have, I believe, in dynasty. So I think if you can get Mariota for something low, that's a good asset to have. I would hold on him right now.
Yeah, I really like Drew Lock, especially with the fact that he's Cortland Sutton as well. Now, I'm not a Broncos fan like you, but I personally think that Sutton is going to be really good this year and for the future, I would assume.
Yeah, he's a superstar in the making, and it's just a matter of time. We get someone opposite him, be able to get a speed guy maybe. You're going to see – I mean, he already broke out last year, so we're just going to see that, pile on top of that. So it can only be up from here.
Yeah, I do think that his bench depth, obviously, like you said, is not amazing, but obviously it's a super flex league, so you're going to have people on your bench that aren't as good. It's a tight end premium. You have guys like Jack Doyle on your bench who has potential to be good with Eric Ebron leaving and things like that. Now, I do think that Lamar Jackson is going to be someone that is probably worth everything, so you could probably get anyone for Lamar Jackson if you were to trade him, but I personally don't think I would ever trade him unless I could get Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, that's the thing with especially if it's super flex, he doesn't have enough, like his other quarterbacks I'm not in love with enough where I would feel comfortable trading Lamar Jackson right now, even though it would be a good piece to use to, get some, 2 or 3, nice pieces to fill out your roster a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I would definitely keep Lamar Jackson right now because you have, Dalvin Cook, as great as he is, I guess you could still say he's injury prone. He did get banged up a little bit this season, missed a game or two. So if he goes down, you need to rely on Lamar Jackson as your bulk, point scorer for your team. Brandon Cooks worries me because the guy is literally one concussion away from dying. He might
he gets fucking killed every single year. So
he's someone I would actually try and move because there are people that still believe in him, and his value is definitely a little shot right now.
Yeah,
but you could find someone that believes in him. They might give you something a little more than what you would be able to get. So I wouldn't want to take that risk of keeping him on my roster. So I would definitely try and move Brandon Cook.
Okay. Now he is the 101 in this draft. Now, would you select Joe Burrow at that pick if you were him, or would you look elsewhere?
I mean, it's a tough one because he doesn't necessarily need the quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know how you pass up on him right now, especially in a super flex. Even if you're gonna, draft him just to trade him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could always trade the 101 if you want,
Yeah.
but I would assume he has all his other picks. He doesn't just have that 101.
Yeah.
Such a deep draft with wide receivers
Mm-hmm.
that I think you take that quarterback with the 101 and super flex, and then in the second round you try and grab yourself one of those stud receivers because all the running backs are going to be gone already.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I wouldn't. There's no way you can pass upon Burrow, especially with the talent it seems like he has. Now I know a lot of people say they like Tua more. I've seen Twitter people say they would draft Tua over him. I don't know how you could possibly do that
Not in
because Tua
fantasy.
could be a bust.
You can't do that for fantasy because you know that Joe Burrow is going to go right into a starting role right away and play. We don't even know what Tua's situation fully is yet. So I'm not going to take that chance.
Mm-hmm.
No, sir.
Yeah, I'm definitely going Burrow there. I like this team overall. I think, would you say it was a B minus, B minus?
Yeah, I'd give it a B minus just because there's a little depth. I mean, the RB2 is a little brutal there with Tariq Cohen. He definitely needs to beef this up a little bit, but overall solid.
Yeah, I would give it a solid C plus there, to be honest. I don't trust Zach Ertz. I don't know. You talked about it before with Goddard. That really worries me, if I'm being honest, for the next couple of years. It seems like his snap count has been going up, and Ertz is still playing, obviously. But the one thing that brings Ertz to still be great is the fact that their wide receiver core is just deceased. They don't have any wide receivers.
And he is Wentz's safety blanket. He's his numbers last year weren't that great because he had some touchdown regression. He wasn't scoring as many touchdowns as he used to, but the receptions, he was, top 3, I believe, in targets and receptions for tight end. So he's still going to be getting those 8-9 targets a game. That's what, for a tight end, especially a tight end premium, that's,
Magnifique. I like Zach Ertz a decent amount, like if we're talking about redraft, but for the future, I'm kind of worried about him. But overall, I think this roster is very good. I think that Dalvin Cook is someone also that worries me, if I'm being honest with you, strictly based off talking about injuries. He does scare me a lot, especially on Dynasty. It would scare me even more, to be honest with you, holding a guy for a couple of years who has been injured so many times. But does he worry you at all or no?
It's a slight worry just because I think he's a little fragile. He's 2 years removed now, I guess, from the ACL or whatever. Yeah. So I'm not worried about the ACL, stuff like that. But it's just the volume. He gets so many carries a game that it's, whether it's a shoulder or a foot or whatever the injury is, he's going to be getting banged up. So
yeah,
if he's my only good running back on my roster, I am a little worried because Tariq Cohen's your RB2. So if I have some more depth at that position, then I don't mind having Dalvin Cook, obviously.
Yeah, a guy I really like who's on his bench is Zach Pascal. Obviously, the Colts may end up drafting someone, and this comment is completely out the window if they pull the trigger early in the draft. But I think that Pascal is a guy that definitely has some upside, especially with Hilton getting hurt every once in a while.
Yeah,
it seems like
he's a warrior though. He always battles.
Yeah, he'll be back, but
you also have to worry a little bit about the emergence of
Paris Campbell.
Yes. I wanted to say Terry McLaurin, but I know it wasn't it. So, yes, Paris Campbell. If he actually has a breakout year, who knows? Didn't look like it last year, so we'll see. But that's something obviously you have to worry about. They're going to want to get their young player involved. So,
yeah, definitely. All right, now the next team, Team 3 by Brady Anderson. He has the 102, the 104, the 110, the 204, and the 207. So he has 3 picks in the first round of the rookie draft. That's obviously going to be beautiful for his roster. But right now, his roster is starting quarterback. He's got Jacoby Brissett, his 2 running backs, Barkley and Eckler. His starting 3 wide receivers, he's got Antonio Brown. Oh, no, A.J. Brown. I'm so dumb. Tyreek Hill, Terry McLaurin, Darren Fells, Christian Kirk, Marlon Mack, Baker Mayfield. His bench is comprised of the man who got murdered a couple of weeks ago, Mason Rudolph, Kyle Allen, Frank Gore, Malcolm Brown, Brian Hill, Agabaduge, who I still can't pronounce, Darius Geis, Kalen Balaj, Justice Hill, Marvin Jones, Zach Pascal, Robert Foster, Eric Ebron, Spinkle is his name, Hawkinson, and then his taxi squad, he's got Drew Lock, Hunter Renfrow, Ozigo, and Waring. Now, like I said, I don't know if this video hasn't came out yet, but it's a video that's going to be coming soon. It's a video with snacks, and I really do love Hunter Renfrow. He's a guy that I really would be targeting in dynasty drafts, so I really like that fact that he's on your taxi squad. And the biggest worry to me on this guy's roster is 100% Jacoby Brissett. I don't trust that guy at all. He is a liability.
Can't be Jacoby Brissett. Now, I get that it looks like it's only a 1 quarterback league.
Mm-hmm. No, it's 2 quarterbacks. It's super flex because he's got Baker
Mayfield. That's right.
And Brissett.
Okay, so Baker, I guess, is technically your QB1.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to activate Drew Lock, get him off the taxi squad. He's going to have to be in your lineup next season.
For sure.
I mean, you really can't do anything with Jacoby other than hold on to him. I don't think anybody's going to give you anything for him. So you just hold on to him and see what happens there in Indy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the running backs are solid. I love Saquon, obviously. Austin Eckler, depending on what happens with Melvin Gordon, I still think is going to be a great asset for Dynasty.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown, Tyreek Hill, studs. Terry McLaurin, stud. I mean, this starting roster is stacked outside of the
It's very good. Marlon Mack also sneaky young. He's only 23 years old.
Yeah, I love I own Marlon Mack in Dynasty. He's I'm not trading him at all. I'm keeping him behind that O line. He's gonna explode. It's coming.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming. Christian Kirk, another. I mean, the future wide receiver one there. Larry Fitzgerald can't play forever as much as he wants to. So I mean, the starting roster here is stacked. The real
amazing.
thing is, what is he gonna do with those picks? Because he doesn't have the 101. So there's probably zero chance he ends up getting Joe Burrow, and he needs a quarterback. So do you take Tua?
Yeah, at 2, you may have to, honestly, because Tua has the potential to be that superstar type of quarterback, a guy that I think in fantasy could be electric. But the problem there is he could also, there's like a 50% chance he's completely terrible. Like he never returns from that injury. So that would definitely worry me. I think I would probably take this shot at 102 since you have the 104 and the 110.
Yep.
But you definitely can't be super confident that Tua is going to be your guy for the future. Obviously, like you said, you cannot trade Brissett for anything. I don't think anyone would trade him.
Like Kyle Allen's not going to be the starter in Carolina.
Rudolph, you could
Rudolph,
cut.
His career's already over, I think. I mean, you have to take that chance. You got to take Tua there at the 102. You got to just bite the bullet, take it, and hope he turns out to be great.
Exactly. I can
that 104 snag yourself like DeAndre Swift or Jonathan Taylor, one of those top stud running backs that's going to be there.
Mm-hmm. Another guy I really like on his roster is Marvin Jones. Now, not a lot of people talk about Marvin Jones, if I'm being honest with you, but he's a guy that a lot of people were discussing could be like Kenny Galladay, 1A, 1B, him and Marvin Jones. Now, Marvin Jones is getting up there in age, so obviously in Dynasty that's not amazing, but I still think that Marvin Jones is a guy that he could definitely throw into that roster at any time that he could produce.
Oh, yeah. Marvin Jones has always been a better wide receiver 2. He's always been a better number 2 option instead of the 1. When he tried to be the 1, he was all right.
Yeah.
But he just excels as a wide receiver 2. So as long as Galladay is still there and healthy and they're on the field together, I think you're always going to have and that also depends on Stafford. There's a lot of talk going on over there in Detroit. So
there's a lot of talk of Tua potentially being that quarterback, so maybe even get that connection. You got
that
Tua.
Could even work for you. Yeah, it could be real good for this roster. Yeah. Also, I've been so against this guy for since he came out and got hurt right away, Darius Geis.
I was going to bring that up.
I've been off him forever, but now I think I'm back. I kind of want a piece of Geis, just a little bit.
You're crazy. I don't want anything to do with Geis. I would sell him right now, hoping that someone believes he will stay healthy.
That's probably the better advice. That's what I would have said a few weeks ago.
Okay. But
something in me just changed, and now if I can get him for the right price, I'm that guy that wants him.
Okay. So, I don't believe in him at all, if I'm being honest with you. I think the talent is there, but the injury concerns, it's just unreal.
My biggest problem is he runs so hard. When you watch him run, that's just his style of running. So he's just running into injuries every play almost.
Exactly.
With this roster though, with Saquon and Eckler, I think you have the right idea here. We're trying to move him, seeing if you can find someone who believes in Geis, because you have the running backs there. You're not going to depend on Geis. So I would try and move him actually with this roster.
Yeah, and Baker is a guy, obviously he's your super flex, but he's really your quarterback 1. He's a guy that I really believe in. I personally think that maybe if it's not this year, maybe if they decide to keep a coach for once, 2 years from now, he could be very good. I really trust in Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, well, he's definitely at least going to play out his rookie contract. So like I only look 2 years into the future for Dynasty, so he'll be there. Uh-huh. So you got to hold Baker. That's your only option there. But yeah, take Tua with that 102. Overall grade, what are we giving this one?
This one is pretty. I'm going to be honest with you. This is probably the best one I've seen, but it's impossible to base them off that. But this is probably closer to an A- to me, at least. B+, A-.
Yeah, I'd go B+, A-. I'm sure, I don't even remember what we gave the first one, but I like this team a lot better than that.
The first one we gave like a B+.
Yeah, so and our scale is probably going to be all over the place this whole episode, so don't hold me to that. But yeah, outside of the quarterback position, this roster is almost perfect for me. So yeah.
I would be surprised if this guy wasn't one of the top 3 teams last year. This team is very good.
Yeah, and it's young.
Mm-hmm, very young.
Very young team. You need the tight end.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. Darren Fells is just a guy. He's going to either score you 0 or he'll score you 15. So you
No faith in him. I know Hawkinson's there. He's, he'll be back, but
yeah,
we'll see.
just make sure to activate Drew Lock. You don't want to lose him.
Yeah, and Hunter Renfrow off that taxi
Hunter
squad.
Renfrow as well. Now on to team number 4. We got David. This is a 10-team half PPR league. This guy also has 2 picks in the first round: the 103, the 109, the 201, and the 203. Now he sent this to me in the most confusing fashion ever because it doesn't say anything. Like it doesn't say quarterbacks, running backs, all that. But his team, he's got Alvin Kamara.
Ooh, but I feel good, baby.
Ew.
He represents you guys, Alvin Kamara.
Anthony Miller, Baker Mayfield, Alvin Kamara, Chris Godwin, Chris Herndon, I don't know, something with his last name, Deshaun Hamilton, Damian Harris, Darwin Thompson, DeAndre Hopkins, Darius Geis back again, Hunter Henry, Josh Lambo, Will Fuller, Tyreek Hill, Tevin Coleman. Why do you have a defense? You need to remove your defense in Dynasty. I don't think you need
defense in Dynasty. Get that out of there.
Yeah, get that out of there. Royce Freeman, Rob Gronkowski, Paris Campbell, Kissin Titties Trubisky, Mike Williams, Matthew Stafford, and Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
MVS is droppable.
Yeah, that guy might be the biggest disappointment I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, after all the reports that came out saying he was going to have a great year, and then he just.
What was the other guy at Green Bay's name? Who's the other guy? It was like MVS. Yep, MVS versus Allison. Who's going to be better? Psych, none of them. They both sucked ass.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this one's hard to look here just because of the way it's formatted. But right away, I noticed Alvin Kamara is a great asset for Dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
Had a rough year last year, even though it wasn't really that rough. It just seemed like it.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield, we talked about before. Chris Godwin, the God.
Yeah, I love him.
A top 10 Dynasty asset right now.
Mm-hmm.
So Chris Herndon, the talent is there. It's just a matter of whether or not he's going to be on the field. I love any tight end of Sam Darnold. I have shares of Ryan Griffin. He's not even a good tight end. It's just a matter that Darnold's going to target him in the red zone. He's going to target him. So I love that. We'll see what happens with Chris Herndon.
What do you think about Hunter Henry? How do you feel about Hunter Henry? Because he, to me, is a very good talent, but he's also one of those guys who can't stay out of that blue tent. He's always hurt.
So I loved Hunter Henry, but the problem is now, Phil Rivers is out of L.A., so who's the quarterback?
Yeah, I think it is if it's a rookie quarterback, he'll throw the ball to a tight end based on that's what rookie quarterbacks typically do. Yeah,
safety blanket tight ends. Yeah, I guess the only problem is I think of the tight end role in LA with the Chargers as just straight up goal line. Like Philip Rivers used to throw to the Antonio Gates anytime they were in the red zone.
Exactly.
Hunter Henry, you saw him getting those targets. So it's going to be tailored around the offense, obviously, and whoever the quarterback is. So I still love Hunter Henry because the talent is there.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great tight end. It's just a matter of whether or not who's going to be the quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Did they drop Anthony Miller, the Bears, or did I read something false?
I have no idea.
Okay, well,
I would hope not.
We won't talk about that then. But then Mitch Trubisky and Matt Stafford are guys I want to talk about here. Matt Stafford is a guy that I really believe in personally. He's very old, obviously, for dynasty purposes, but I think he can play for a couple more years as long as his back doesn't break again. Do you think that he's do you like him? You dislike him?
I love the talent when he's healthy and on the field. It's just, like you just said, it's a matter of that back.
Mm-hmm.
If he can't play, he's useless, obviously. So, that's great analysis right there. But it's just a matter of, I believe in Matt Stafford's ability on the field. He's a gunslinger,
Mm-hmm.
He's been that way for years. He puts up points better, every other week, I think. So he's not I don't rely on him weekly.
Uh-huh.
So I wouldn't want him to be one of my, my QB1 for Dynasty, my QB2.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like him more as a guy that sits on my bench and I can start him, during bye weeks.
Yeah.
Outside of that, Mitch Trubisky, I have no faith in.
Yeah, I don't even feel like he may be the quarterback coming into this season. People are talking about Derek Carr, other people.
This is another team. He's got some quarterback issues.
Mm-hmm.
Baker Mayfield, I think he'll be all right.
Yeah.
But outside of that, you got to get yourself a quarterback on this squad because and he's got the 103, which is in a tough spot because he's most likely going to miss both, depending on how the draft goes. Yeah.
I like this.
I don't know if this is Superflex or not because
I don't think it is.
He has no positions or anything. So,
okay. But based on his wide receivers are very good. He has Hill, Hopkins, and Will Fuller and Chris Godwin. That is a very solid wide receiver core.
Yeah, Mike Williams too. So
Mm-hmm.
Deshaun Hamilton, I don't know if it says dropped. I don't know if he still has him or not.
I don't
see
know
what happens there. I still have faith in him. I think he could be a decent slot receiver. So we'll see if that actually happens now that Drew Lock is there and Emmanuel Sanders is gone, and then get those extra targets. But yeah, this team is
so to me.
It's hard for me to put together right here. I'm looking at it, I'm trying to like put a starting lineup together because the way it's formatted.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't have like an amazing RB2 because RB1 is Alvin Kamara, and then there's just no one else. There's guys like Darwin Thompson, Royce Freeman.
Yeah, Darius Guice,
a bunch of guys. So I think this team is pretty solid, like overall. But like talking about if you're just rating the starting lineup, I don't think it's
B-
as great as the other ones.
C+.
Okay, hammer it in. B- or C+. We got that.
Yeah, who are you taking with the 103?
To be honest with you, I would probably with this guy's roster, you have to take a running back to me.
Yeah,
so I'd probably take a guy like Taylor. It depends where they land.
Yeah, obviously. You take one of the top running backs available based on where they land.
Exactly. I think if any running back goes to Tampa Bay, I'd probably draft that guy. So
it's not bad.
Now onto the next roster. We are 5 teams in. There could be, I don't know how many teams are on here. There might be 12. But team number 5 is Kevin. This is a 10-team half PPR. We don't have his picks. I don't believe that we do not have his picks. But this is his roster. He has Lamar Jackson. Seems like everyone on here has Lamar Jackson. Marlon Mack, Damian Williams, Juju Smith-Schuster, Chris Godwin, Tyreek Hill, George Kittle, Allen Robinson, Kenyon Drake. He's got a defense, the Steelers. His bench is comprised of Duke Johnson, Matt Breida, Chase Edmonds, Justin Jackson, Mike Boone, Larry Fitz, Will Fuller, Anthony Miller, Auden Tate, Dallas Goedert, and his IR is Darrell Williams and Cam Newton. This just in, I looked it up. Anthony Miller did not get cut. I don't know what I was reading, but.
All right, yeah, I was gonna say, it wouldn't make much sense if they did that.
Okay, yeah.
They haven't been doing a lot of stuff that makes sense lately, so.
Yeah. This roster, I really like, if I'm being honest with you. I really like this roster.
I love the starting lineup. There's probably not a player on here that, outside of having a defense, this is a picture-perfect starting lineup for me.
Yeah.
Outside of Damian Williams, people still, he has the great offseason, the great, postseason all the time, but
yeah,
I'm not a Damian Williams guy, especially because I think the Chiefs are looking to add a running back in the draft. So depending on who that is, Damian Williams might emerge again in the playoffs, but regular season, I want someone else in there.
Yeah, I would move Kenyon Drake into the running back slot and just throw in one of those wide receivers, a guy like Larry Fitz, Will Fuller, maybe Anthony Miller every week. I wouldn't trust Damian Williams.
I'm big on Adam Tate in Dynasty.
You like
I think he's going to be, I think he's going to be a great asset. He caught pretty much every ball that was thrown at him last year. The guy has great hands. Needs a quarterback. So Joe Burrow coming to town, hopefully, most likely. I think Auden Tate's going to be a nice wide receiver to have opposite Tyler Boyd there in Cincinnati. So
yeah. So do you not think AJ Green comes back then?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I have no faith in AJ Green. I didn't believe in AJ Green last year. So
I didn't either. No.
I'm done with him. I have no interest in any shares of AJ Green.
Okay. One guy I really want to talk about here, though, on his starting roster is Kenyon Drake. Now, obviously, Kenyon Drake, to me, is going to stay in Arizona. I do not think that I think he'll be the starting back on that team. He obviously has Chase Edmonds as well in case he gets hurt. Unless David Johnson comes over there and screws everything up, I think that Kenyon Drake is a potential amazing dynasty asset.
Yeah, the only problem is he's a little old. I don't know exactly how old Kenyon Drake is. Would he like 27?
I'll look it up for you. We can keep talking. Kenyon Drake.
He's
26.
26, probably. Did he just turn 26? Yeah, just turned 26. Turned 26. Not that old, but for a running back in Dynasty, it's not, it's not the youngest. But he has the backup, Chase Edmonds. So that's really all you need right there. You don't have to worry about it because God forbid something happens to Drake, you got Edmonds, plug him in right there. I love Kenyon Drake as a Dynasty asset because I actually love him as an asset to sell right now because his value, I don't think is going to be ever higher.
Yeah, no, his value is amazing. What do you think about Juju?
I still believe in Juju. I like Juju. I wouldn't sell him because you're not going to get your full value for him. Juju had a rough season, but 3 quarterbacks he played with, and on a team that was outside of playing good defense, they were struggling. So I think Juju has a nice bounce back year, depending on Big Ben's health, obviously, but he's going to start the season healthy. So you'll have some good games, and then it's just a matter of who can the Steelers find to replace Big Ben in the future? Because
Yeah.
Juju's too young. He's not going anywhere. He's the future of the Steelers wide receiver corps. So
I think honestly, I might just trade Juju right after he blows up, like week 1, week 2, week 3 with Big Ben, and then just say, you know what, I don't want to deal with this. Whoever's going to be the Steelers quarterback for the next couple of years, 'cause I don't think Big Ben really can play for all that much longer. If I'm being honest with you.
no, I would be surprised if Big Ben finished this season if he played the full season because he's he's a walking injury.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
but yeah, like you said, honestly, that's probably the move. If you can, if Juju gets those 2-3 games where he explodes right away in the beginning of the season, and you can get some good value for him, I'd move on from him with this roster because you have Chris Godwin, you have Tyreek Hill, you have Allen Robinson, who I think is an absolute stud.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't want to say undervalued because people obviously know that Allen Robinson is a good wide receiver. It's just he's I guess underutilized on the Bears because of Mitch Trubisky. So.
Yeah, the thing that definitely most worries me about this roster is he has Lamar Jackson, and then he has no one on his bench. He has Cam Newton on the IR. Does that worry you at all? Because Cam Newton may not be a starting quarterback in the NFL next year. Well, he's not going to be on the Panthers, in my opinion. He may be on some other team, and that would definitely potentially worry me.
It's a bit concerning that this obviously is a one quarterback league, so Lamar Jackson's your QB1, so that's really all you need right there. You want to have a good backup, though. So the fact that Cam Newton is your backup and his future is uncertain, that does concern me a little bit. I'd say before the season starts, try and maybe trade. There's got to be some quarterbacks available.
Yeah, there definitely is.
You can probably get someone, a real buy low guy. Trade one of these. Trade Larry Fitzgerald to somebody maybe who's trying to make a run. They want to get like an old vet wide receiver on the team. Who knows?
Get the energy going in the locker room.
Yeah, locker room on Dynasty team is very important. So
Exactly.
you have to have a good locker room.
Yeah, this is a 10-team league, so I'm going to be honest with you. I'm sure there might be someone available on the waiver wire.
That's possible too. If not, then there's probably someone hoarding quarterbacks that they don't need, so they're looking to get rid of one. Just give them some. Get one of those guys because you need to make sure you have a solid backup. You can't be going into the season with Cam Newton as your backup, not knowing exactly what his role is in the NFL.
Because Lamar Jackson goes down, you go from probably one of the best teams in the league to having absolutely zero chance of doing anything.
Yeah, big time. So I'm a big depth guy especially when it comes to Dynasty. I have depth at every position. We're in super flex, but I think I have 5 quarterbacks. I'm ready to go. So something happens. So
this guy's the reverse of ready to go at the quarterback position.
Yeah, overall,
I think it's pretty good. Pretty okay.
Yeah, the starting lineup is so solid, though.
Yeah, the problem is the bench, definitely. Like, I just don't trust. Like, he really has no backup, like, running backs. Like, do you trust Breida? I would not trust Breida. A guy like Justin Jackson, will he ever play again? Who knows? Duke Johnson. I actually like Duke Johnson, if I'm being honest with you.
I like Duke Johnson, just not on the Texans. They don't throw to the running back enough. He's a pass-catching running back, and they don't throw to the running backs enough. So, yeah, the talent's there, but the volume's not.
Yeah.
I'd try and move Duke Johnson. See if you can package Duke and Larry and maybe Anthony Miller or somebody. I don't know, because you got Allen Robinson. And get yourself a quarterback and get yourself like
another receiver, another running back.
Yeah, the running back's pretty solid. Other than Damian Williams, who I just personally don't believe in.
Yeah.
Damian Williams is still a good running back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I agree. He also has Goddard on the bench, who I didn't even notice. That's very good. He has Kittle as well. So I like this roster. I'd say his starting roster is probably an A+, but his whole team as a whole is probably around a B to me.
Yeah, I'll give him an A because I'll never give anyone an A+.
Okay. All right. All right, next roster here, we got Team 5. I forgot who this was. Obviously, actually, I do know exactly whose roster this is. This is a Superflex League. He's got the 102, the 107, the 110, the 111, the 112, and the 38. Now, I'm going to read you this roster, and they're going to tell me if you know whose roster this is.
I already know by the name.
Oh, you know what it is? You know whose roster?
I can tell by the name. The ceiling is the roof.
Okay, this is Scott's lineup. Now, he's got Kyler Murray at the quarterback position and Lamar Jackson. So this is a straight-up God squad starting off. He's got Todd Gurley, Miles Sanders, A.J. Brown, Cortland Sutton, D.J. Moore, Devontae Adams, Mark Andrews. And then his bench, he's got Christian Kirk, Tyrell Williams, Greg Ward, Andy Isabella, J.J. Arthega, Whiteside. I think you actually are supposed to say it like that, so that's why I said it like that. Dallas Goedert, Noah Fant, Hawkinson, Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen, RG3, Royce Freeman, Breida, Penny, Hill, Harris, and Scary Terry McLaurin. Now, what do you think about Scott's roster?
This is an A. Just right away, the starting lineup is stacked. His running backs are shaky, But, I mean, everyone else is just someone that I want to own in Dynasty. We got Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, two youthful, star quarterbacks in the making. Lamar's already a star. A.J. Brown, star running wide receiver in the making. Cortland Sutton, star wide receiver in the making. DJ Moore, star wide receiver in the making.
Christian Kirk.
Adams. Yeah, Christian Kirk. I mean, Mark Andrews is one of my all-time favorite tight ends right now. I say all-time, but right now.
Yeah.
Terry McLaurin, star wide receiver in the making.
Yeah, his roster is unbelievable, and his bench quarterbacks are good too. He's got
I didn't even get to that yet. Yeah, for Dynasty, those are two of the top quarterbacks you would want right now. Not so much Daniel Jones. I would much rather have Darnold than Daniel Jones.
Yeah, Darnold is much safer to me as well. Darnold's a guy who I think he'll be the quarterback for a long time.
Yeah,
he'll never be one of those guys though that's going to blow you out of the water. I don't think he'll.
No, I don't think so. But Daniel Jones, my biggest issue with him is the turnovers.
Yeah, the fumble issues.
Yeah, the fumble issues. So, but yeah, still a great Dynasty asset. Noah Fant, T.J. Hawkinson, Dallas Goedert. I mean, like 3 young, emerging tight ends
with Mark Andrews. This is crazy.
Yeah, Andy Isabella. I actually like that. I think we'll see him get more reps. Greg Ward. I mean, these are just bench guys that aren't like I don't hate. I like Greg Ward. I think he could be a wide receiver for the Eagles that could actually stick around for a couple of years.
Exactly. I also kind of like Penny, if I'm being honest with you. If Carson continues to get hurt, maybe Penny has the potential one day to become.
Yeah, I also like Freeman. Freeman on this. I mean, I haven't given up on Royce Freeman yet. We talked about that last time. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, yeah, Scott has been getting much better with all his Dynasty drafts. He's just becoming all he's got to do right now is beef up that running back position a little bit. Get rid of Todd Gurley, maybe throw someone in there. But knowing Scott, he's got picks.
He's got the 102, the 107, the 111, and the 112.
Yeah, so 5 first-round picks. He'll get himself a running back. He'll get himself another wide receiver. Mm-hmm. He's set. We'll give him an A. Love you, Scott.
Okay, yeah. There's nothing really to say about this. This is the best roster by far on here. Obviously,
I need to know who he drafted with because they should all be ashamed.
Exactly. I wonder who it was.
Allowing this.
Exactly. All right. So we're going to move on, Scott. That's obviously great. Scott sent me 2 rosters, but there was just too many rosters. The next one, I'll include your other roster. So team 6, we got Drew. Drew has quite the team here. He has got Jameis Winston, starting quarterback. His 2 running backs are Devin Singletary and Chris Carson. He's got old man Julio Jones, Kenny Galladay, Amari Cooper, George Kittle, and Raheem Mostert. His bench is comprised of Mr. Kiss and Titties, Mitchell Trubisky, Kyler Murray, Gardner Minshew, Dalvin Cook, Agaduge, I can't pronounce the guy's name, Darius Geis, Damian Harris, Alexander Madison, Darwin Thompson, Odell Beckham Jr., DJ Moore, Deshaun Hamilton, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, Paris Campbell, and Hurd. And then he's got Golden Tate and Robert Dwelly, the backup tight end for San Francisco. In his injured reserve, he's got 2 tight ends. He's got Chris Herndon and Will Disley. This is a 12-team half PPR league, and he has 3 picks in the first round, the 1-3, the 107, and the 108. What do you think of this roster?
It's very solid all the way through. I like how he even has the handcuffs for like his tight end. He's got, Dwelly for Kittle. Mm-hmm. I'm one of those guys I'm a handcuff guy. I believe in having the handcuffs, even in Dynasty. Mm-hmm. Dalvin Cook is on his bench.
Odell's on his bench.
Yeah, so yeah, this is a solid roster. I mean, geez.
Yeah.
Freaking Amari Cooper, Kenny Galladay right there, 2 stud wide receivers. Julio is still a stud. He's older, but he's still going to give you Julio numbers. Those aren't going away.
Exactly.
A lot of people want to try and sell him right now just because of the age. I still don't think you're going to get enough value because there's a lot of people out there that don't necessarily believe in Julio. So I would just hold on to him and let him fucking rock on your roster.
Exactly. This guy has DJ Moore on his bench as well. This is like a star-studded roster right here. I don't know why Raheem Mostert is in your flex. It literally makes the roster look worse just by doing that.
Yeah, this must be he just didn't change it after the season because Raheem Mostert was rolling. So
yeah.
But Minshew, Murray, Trubisky, he's got young quarterbacks behind Winston who, as wild as Winston is, he's still a great fantasy quarterback. So
yeah, I love Winston.
I would try and get rid of Trubisky because you don't need him with Murray and Minshew because I believe in Minshew as a quarterback here. Mm-hmm. I mean the depth is wonderful.
Yeah, it's amazing. This is a very good team as well.
Yeah, I'd give this an A-.
Me as well. I think Odell is a guy that personally I don't think I'll ever be able to buy in on a guy like Odell. Obviously you have him, but I'm not sure if anyone will want him though. If I'm being
yeah, someone wants him. So there's always someone that believes. Yeah. for the right price, obviously.
Mm.
Don't sell him short. If you're not going to get something you think is worthy of him, then don't trade him. But I would be looking to move on from Odell if I'm you, because you have the depth at the the wide receiver position.
Yeah, 100%. I do not
Overall
like
good team.
Odell. Yeah, this is definitely an overall great team. I think that Winston is a guy that could be potentially a quarterback for a long time who's very good, as long as he stops throwing picks and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers don't just get rid of him.
Wait a second. He doesn't have DJ Moore. It's David Moore.
Oh, my goodness. I'm sorry.
You almost got me.
I almost got myself.
I thought he had DJ Moore. Yeah, no.
He's David Moore.
With that, I would hold on to Odell.
Yeah, no, I would as well now. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm not good at reading.
But
we don't read books today, so fuck books. But Odell, he has a very solid roster. Dalvin Cook is a guy he has Dalvin Cook and Madison. You're just set forever.
Yeah, the handcuffs, they're there. So I'm a big fan of that.
And he has Geis as well. I'm going to be honest. At this roster, he has such good running backs. I'd probably try to trade Geis to someone who believes in him.
Yeah,
I don't trust Geis. You seem to love Geis though. Now
I can't. I'm trying to convince myself that I like him. I don't even know if I like him actually.
Okay.
I feel like there's something there still. There's a chance.
Okay. Without the fact that this guy, he is David Moore, not DJ Moore, I'm gonna decrease your grade. You get an A- now. Still very good.
Yeah, A-.
Very good team. Now, actually, I want to talk about one more thing on his roster. He is Will Dissly. Now, what do you think happens in Seattle now that third leg Greg Olsen is there?
Greg Olsen will get hurt by week 4. I'm not worried about Greg Olsen at all. The problem is I'm not really in love with Will Dissly either. So I mean, he had a couple of good games last year. So what? Everyone went nuts over him. Jacob Hollister got thrown into that role, and he had some good games too. It's whoever's playing with Russell Wilson.
Exactly.
That's what it is. So.
All right. That's I was just wondering if you were one of those guys who really love Dissly, because you can see on Twitter, in YouTube, just some guys who really love Will Dissly. Now,
I get it. The production was there.
Definitely. And being with Russell Wilson, like you said, is amazing.
That definitely helps.
Team number 7 now. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think this is a Dynasty League. This is the most confusing shit I've ever read. He sent it to me. We're going to have to deconstruct this together. Team 7, Mace Windu, or Maz Windu, I guess. 12-team, full PPR, and you get return yards. I don't know what kind of dinosaur league you're playing in that gets return yards. That's some crazy shit. You keep 14 players, and he's drafting for the 106 with a full array of draft picks. So what I'm assuming is the guys that aren't kept are being drafted in the scenario. So his quarterback is Kyler Murray, Devontae Adams. He's got DJ Moore this time. DJ Chark, Aaron Jones, Dalvin Cook, Hunter Henry, Deebo Samuel, Tyler Boyd, Captain Kirk Cousins, LaShawn McCoy, A.J. Brown, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, Laird, Godwin, Madison, Herndon, and then get rid of the kicker, get rid of the defense, get rid of them both. And then that's his whole roster. Now, what do you think about this roster?
It's a great roster. I mean,
I love this roster as well.
From top to bottom. I mean, so this isn't Dynasty, like you said, it's just a big keeper league, I guess. Just keeping 14 players.
It's more Dynasty than keeper, but it's not Dynasty. I don't know how to describe it.
Okay, so, I mean, if we're going to pick the 14 players, let's go right away with the starting lineup. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got 10 right off the bat. So we'll keep those 10 guys. We're keeping A.J. Brown.
Godwin.
Chris Godwin. I probably keep Madison just because I have Cook. And
then I think I would just keep Kirk Cousins maybe as the backup.
Nah, you could draft another quarterback.
Okay. Then who are you going to keep?
I'd probably keep Arcega-Whiteside. Just get another skill player in there.
Okay.
Hold on to him. That's it.
Yeah,
I'd be interested in.
I really like this team, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, that starting lineup is deadly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a big DJ Chark believer too, because I think Minshew's going to be the main guy there, and you saw that connection was there. He loved throwing to DJ Chark.
Okay.
So I'm big on DJ Chark in Dynasty and whatever this is.
Yes, this is very confusing. I didn't even implement the fact that return yards go into here. I don't even know who the fuck returns the kicks for half of the teams in the NFL. So I'm sorry you're not going to get some professional analysis on that, but I really do like this team. Tyler Boyd is a guy who I really like. I know you said you liked Auden Tate, but Tyler Boyd to me he's fine as a wide receiver 1 or 2 on the Bengals. So I think he'll be great with Joe Burrow. And then another guy who I really like on the roster is obviously Deebo as well. Deebo is a guy that I think has potential to be great. He can run the ball. He can catch the ball. Jimmy Garoppolo sucks. Maybe he can throw the ball as well. He's amazing. I love Deebo Samuel.
Yeah, Deebo Samuel's someone who I definitely want to get some shares of.
Yeah, Deebo is great. And I think that Arcega-Whiteside also could have some potential, especially with maybe Alshon is gone. I saw a report where Alshon does not like Wentz. So
yeah, they're looking to move on from Alshon. So I mean, he's drafted last year, so he only had this 1 year. You saw he didn't get enough playing time. When he was on the field, he was okay.
Yeah,
a lot of problems in Philly last year anyway. So I think that there's still a shot for Arcega-Whiteside. It's early in the career.
Yeah, and Kyler Murray, I know we've talked about him a million times. He's a guy that, to me, is a top 4 quarterback in like a dynasty format to me.
Yeah, I think he's only going to get better. So
he's going to use his legs more, I think. He wasn't running as much last season as I thought he would personally, especially with the fact that the line sucks so bad. I thought he would move more. Now I assume they draft some linemen in this draft so he doesn't get crushed. But
you would hope so. We would hope so.
Yeah, the Cardinals not the smartest organization. Now we're going to move on from this one. We got teammate, and this is Logan. Now, this is on Sleeper. Obviously, you use Sleeper, right? Or do you use something different?
I use Sleeper for a redraft league. I use Flea Flicker for Dynasty.
Okay. All right. I was just wondering what you used. I got Sleeper now. His quarterback, yet again, Lamar Jackson. It seems like everyone had figured out that Lamar Jackson was great last year when they drafted her 2 years ago. So he's got Lamar Jackson, Miles Sanders, Melvin Gordon, Terry McLaurin, Kenny Galladay, Mecole Hardman, Sprinkle, David Johnson, Trey Burton, Taysom Hill. Is that what's his name? Smith. What's his name? I'm so dumb. The quarterback from Washington. What's his first name?
Wayne Haskins?
No, the guy who was on the Chiefs. He got hurt.
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith is his name. Alex Smith, Phil Rivers, Josh Rosen, Tyrod Taylor, your boy TJ Yeldon, Stanton. He's got Benjamin, Willie Snead, Connolly, Geronimo Allison, Cootie, Arnold, Atkins, Mack, and then he's got his taxi squad is Darrell Williams, Will Greer, Darrell Henderson, Hosted, and Williams, and then his IR is Ebron and Herndon. This roster, to me, is the most lackluster roster I've seen so far on here.
Compared to the other teams we've been looking at, it's got some holes, sure.
It has some big holes.
Yeah, and some concerns, too, because, like Melvin Gordon's stud player, where is he? Where is he playing?
Who knows?
We don't know. Is he going to be the same? They're going to use him the same? So that worries me a little bit. Miles Sanders, I like. It's just also the fact that I don't think he's a bell cow. He got a lot of work, but the Eagles, they don't use running backs that way. They're always a committee with Doug Peterson, so that worries me as my RB1. RB2 is Sanders, so,
Yeah, and then he has David Johnson as well. Who knows where David Johnson's playing? Who knows if David Johnson's playing ever again?
David Johnson, I think, would be good if he goes to, like, Tampa Bay. But other than that, yeah, there's definitely some big holes and some concerns on this roster.
This is a super flex team, and I'll read you his quarterbacks here. Obviously, I know I've read it, but he's got Lamar Jackson, Taysom Hill, Alex Smith, Phillip Rivers, Josh Rosen, Tyrod Taylor. I want to be honest with you. I think he only has one starting quarterback. I mean, Rivers might be a starting quarterback somewhere, but
yeah, I think Rivers will end up being a starting quarterback, but he's not a starting quarterback that I want to be starting. So
yeah, exactly.
I don't look at Phillip Rivers and get, I'm like, oh, it's okay, I got Phil. So I'm not in love with that. Taysom Hill, he's a nice gadget tool. I don't think he ever becomes a franchise quarterback.
Nope.
He might fill in for a year, be a bridge quarterback, something like that. So I don't really have much confidence there. So yeah, big holes. I'd go over. We're in the C's here. We're.
It's a bit worrisome here.
We'll go C.
C, yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. I think, would you trade Lamar Jackson for other quarterbacks? Like trade Lamar, and get 2 other guys? Trade Lamar, get something else. Because if I'm being honest with you, I don't see how you can possibly win starting Lamar Jackson and Phillip Rivers. Like, it's impossible. To me, it's impossible to win in Superflex when your Superflex is not a quarterback. Like, every time. Like, every week, to me.
Yeah, he's got the 1-5, so he's not going to be able to draft a quarterback. Yeah, it's tough. I don't know because
trading Lamar Jackson
is the problem.
Yeah.
Who are you going to get for Lamar Jackson? You're going to get 2 quarterbacks? Like, who are they going to be?
Yeah, that's true.
Who's going to give up 2 quarterbacks for
one?
Depending on who they are, maybe you can get like Stafford and someone else. But then again, you're taking a risk there. So I would hold on to Lamar Jackson, even though his value is probably as high as it ever will be.
Guys like Melvin Gordon, like you said before, very confusing. He's a guy that I don't even think his trade value is that high, to be honest.
Yeah, you can't trade him because you don't really know what his value is right now. So you don't know what you're going to – unless someone loves Melvin Gordon, they believe he's going to be super special this next year, and they want to give you something great for him, then obviously you take it.
Yeah.
Wide receivers I love, though. I do love his 3 wide receivers with
Yeah.
McLaurin, Galladay, and Hardman. I think Hardman, you're going to see kind of take that next step, and they're going to use him a lot more because, I mean, the speed is there, and Sammy Watkins apparently he needs some time to rest.
Yeah.
He isn't. I guess he made up his mind that he's going to play, but still, who knows? The head's not all there. So.
I mean, he said he was going to play. He played week 1 and he played in the Super Bowl. That's all he did last season.
Basically, yeah, the guy was a ghost the rest of the season. So I think you'll see McCole Hardman step up.
Mm-hmm. Another thing that worries me about this roster is the tight end. He has, he's got Sprinkle and he's got Trey Burton.
Well, he's got Herndon and
he's got Herndon.
Ebron,
yeah,
both on the IR. So Herndon, we'll see what happens. I think the talent's there. It's just a matter of if he stays healthy. Yeah, so I do like Herndon.
Ebron's a guy I'm not on at all. I think he's moving off of Indianapolis. I don't know wherever he goes.
Yeah,
he's not a talent. He's not that good in my opinion.
He's a straight up red zone guy. He's not. The talent was there for like a few weeks, and then that's it. So he's a flash guy. He shows flashes of it, but he never really sustains it, and there's no consistency with him. So I don't get excited over him.
Yeah, this roster is definitely like in the C's. It definitely has potential to be good. There are some guys on his bench that I think have potential to be good. A guy like Willie Snead, I'm going to be honest with you. I think if he was on like a better team, maybe he'd be okay. Because he was a guy who was really good on the Saints, and then he went to Baltimore, and then he's like a ghost. A guy like Kiki Cootie was a guy that a lot of people were very much on last season.
Yeah.
Talking about redraft. That guy was a complete fucking bust. He got hurt, but maybe he can somehow be good again.
Yeah, it's just a matter. The problem there is he's battling for reps with DeAndre Hopkins, Kenny Stills, and Will Fuller. So if like all those guys are healthy, it's gonna be hard for him to really get those reps.
And your boy TJ Yeldon is there as well.
I love TJ Yeldon still, surprisingly.
You're still on him?
I'm not giving up.
Yeah, never hop off.
Until he's cut and not on the team, I'm still on him.
Okay. You can play him when he's on his XFL team next year.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. So this team is definitely like a C minus. Definitely has some potential. Now, the next team here, we got Team 9. His name is Lion. He's got a 12-team dynasty. Keeps 7 players indefinitely. Normal snake, another league where it's not really dynasty. It's kind of confusing here. Okay. Normal snake picks 111 and 2-2. So his roster, he's got TB12, Tom Brady, Adam Thielen, Tyreek Hill, Christian McCaffrey, Barkley, amazing, Jack Doyle, Edelman, Gurley, Malcolm Brown, Hunter Renfrow, Kyle Allen, Chase Edmonds, LaShawn McCoy, Wilkins, Adam Humphries, OJ Howard, Sly, and then a bunch of defenses. Why do you have defenses like in Dynasty? To me, that just never made any sense. But what do you think about this team? To me, Tom Brady, I don't know how anyone ever wants to have Tom Brady on their Dynasty roster.
No, I mean, I had him on my roster, and I got rid of him this offseason because of that reason that it's just there's too much. Like, he's going to have to retire soon. Like,
exactly.
You can't rely on him. And even you saw, there was still some decline in his play because the wide receivers are shot in New England. Everyone thought N'Keal Harry was going to come in and really be like a nice, player for them. And you can see there's some talent there. It's just he's got to break out. He hasn't really done that yet. So Julian Edelman is another guy I'm kind of trying to get rid of if I have him in Dynasty right now because of the fact that if Tom Brady's going, what does Julian Edelman really have left? He's also getting up there in age. And he's always been getting banged up. He's having off-season surgeries all the time and stuff. So how much longer can he play for?
Same thing with Gurley to me as well.
Gurley's a problem because we all know he's got that knee, the arthritis in the knee. So it's just a matter of time until it acts up again.
Yeah.
So do you want that? I mean, the only good part about that is that's a flex for him. So he's not like completely dependent on Gurley. So I don't mind having him there because he's got Saquon and C-Mac, which is that's ridiculous.
Amazing. Yeah. Obviously. His biggest hole is obviously Tom Brady. Like he needs to get rid of Tom Brady. You need someone else, and then your team would be good because his bench, the only other quarterback is Kyle Allen. Kyle Allen's probably not going to be starter in the NFL next season. So
I do not think so. Yeah. So the main thing here is we got to get you a quarterback. That's what you need on this roster.
So this is a keep 7 players indefinitely. So some of these guys are going to be off his roster. So maybe you can draft Tom Brady.
All right.
Maybe you can draft someone new, but you have to keep. It's so obvious who to keep here. You got to keep McCaffrey. Got to keep Barkley. You got to keep Hill. Got to keep Adam Thielen. And then to me, there's just a bunch of other guys you could just keep. I guess you'd keep Gurley.
Yeah, I would keep Gurley for sure. I'm keeping Gurley. So that's 4.
We're at
1,
Adam
2,
Thielen,
3,
Hill,
4, 5.
McCaffrey, Barkley, Gurley.
Marquise Brown, 6.
6. And
We
then,
got to keep 7.
yeah, and then you just probably keep Renfro maybe or Edelman.
I'm not even keeping Edelman. Fuck Edelman.
Fuck it.
I'd
Fuck it.
probably, as stupid as this sounds, I don't know why I would even think
You're gonna
it.
say
but I'd
O.J.
probably
Howard?
Keep OJ Howard.
Oh, my God.
for the positional value and who knows, I don't know when your deadline is for this, when you have to choose by, but I still think there's a chance that he gets traded, and depending on where he goes, hopefully they trade for him because they know how they want to use him, because Arians just doesn't want to use his tight end. He just doesn't. He wants to chuck it to his wide receivers, or maybe not Arians but Jameis just wants to chuck it to Godwin, chuck it to Evans. So depending on when your deadline is for this, but right now I probably keep OJ Howard, even though it's hard to say.
Yeah, no, I don't mind that. Obviously, don't keep any of the defenses. You just fucking pick
please
3
don't.
random ones. Just tell your commissioner to get the fuck rid of the defenses.
Yes.
Doesn't matter. Just tell him to get rid of them. Get rid of the. I don't know if you play kicker. Fuck the kicker as well. To me, I don't really care.
No, you don't, unless it's Tucker, which even then I still wouldn't keep a kicker. So
okay, yeah, this is definitely a very good roster to me, especially with the guys he's going to be keeping. Christian McCaffrey, Barkley, Tyreek Hill are going to be great for a long time to me. And a guy like Marquise Brown has that upside, Hollywood Brown, to be very good in the future.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with him is that Lamar Jackson, to me, will just throws the ball to everyone. Unless your name's Mark Andrews, of course.
Yeah, well, there's that, and the fact that they're a run first team, so like the targets won't be there. But he's a big boomer bust. He's a boomer bust guy. That's kind of how he is. He's gonna either get you 30 points or 4.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy you want to throw in the second flex.
Yeah, exactly. You're not putting him in as your wide receiver 1 or 2. So I still like him. I would definitely hold on to him just because he still has that that X factor ability.
Yeah,
that you want on your roster.
This is definitely a solid team. This to me is like a B plus.
Yeah, I would give this easily a B plus because you have so many options to those 7 spots that you have to keep. You fill it up easily. So
exactly, and then you're done with Tom Brady. I don't even know why you drafted Tom Brady last year, if I'm being honest with you, but I don't know. I don't believe in Brady. So now to move on. Now it's a team 10, the Dirty Dozen by Jay. He's got the 102, the 302, the 303, and the 411. Another roster with Lamar Jackson. What a fucking surprise. He's got Lamar Jackson, Joe Mixon, Tevin Coleman, Julio, Kenny Galladay, Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram, Duke Johnson, Rashad Penny, MVS, Captain Kirk Cousins, Kyle Allen, Tyrell Williams, or no, that's not Tyrell Williams. That's T. Williams, the backup running back for Cincinnati. He's got Kenny Stills, John Brown, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, Myers, and Irv Smith Jr. What are your thoughts?
Right off the bat, I love the fact that he's got Lamar Jackson. I love Joe Mixon. First 2 things I noticed.
Yeah,
Julio, we spoke about before. I still think there's juice left in the tank. I love Julio Jones, even in Dynasty. Kenny Galladay, stud. I mean, after that, though, it falls off is the problem.
It does. The biggest fall off here is, well, I guess he has Kirk Cousins, but he only has 3 quarterbacks, I think, on a
Well, this is a super flex.
so that is worrisome.
So at least he does have, 2 solid starting options here with Kirk and Lamar.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine with me. It's hard to, have that depth at quarterback. I like to have it, but it's not always the easiest thing in a super flex. So if you have 2 solid options, at least, we're worried about that starting lineup right now.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 solid options you got. That's fine.
This is a 12-team league, so.
Yeah, exactly. So it's even, slim pickings. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, tight end position, I like that Irv Smith Jr. there. Evan Ingram, I like. It's just a matter of fact of, like,
health.
Yeah, the health issue. And, like, are the Giants going to hold on to him? Like, I feel like they could trade him.
Yeah, they definitely could. He's like a freak athlete. He's a freak athlete.
Yeah, he just needs to be on the field. And the problem is he hasn't been, so we don't really know how they want to use him. So, I mean, you got to hold on to him. I think he could have a big year this year. I do like Evan Ingram if you can buy him because I feel like people are kind of low on him right now.
Yeah, a guy I really like on his roster, I know he's kind of not that young, but that's John Brown on his bench. John Brown, to me, is a guy that I really like. But the thing that worries me is last year, I don't know which receiver he was throwing the ball to, not this year, but like the year before, you know what I'm talking about? How Josh Allen was throwing the ball to the guy a million times. People were going to draft him this year, and then he was nowhere to be found, and it was John Brown. Will that happen again?
Robert Foster,
yeah. Will that happen again? Will John Brown get cucked out of being the wide receiver 1? Really
I mean, we'll have to wait and see what happens with the draft just because there's so many wide receivers in this draft class that, they could be a team looking to grab one. If they don't, I mean, I love John Brown. I think John Brown he's a great deep threat. He's got the speed. He stretches the field, and the targets were there. I mean, I think he was getting 7 targets a game almost.
Yeah,
so
he was amazing.
The biggest problem is Josh Allen's inaccurate, and Cole Beasley's the guy down there too that steals a lot of targets. Yeah. So, I'm not really worried about John Brown at all. I would be fine with keeping John Brown and being happy with him on my lineup.
I think this team overall is pretty good. I am definitely worried though about his flexes. He's got Duke Johnson and Rashad Penny. Obviously, you'd put in John Brown, but then you got to rely on a guy like Kenny Stills. Kenny Stills, to me, I don't really trust at all. I'm a Dolphins
flex guy. He's a bench guy that you pop in if you have to.
Exactly.
Yeah, so he's got some holes here. Outside of those first 5-6 players, and then it falls off, like we said. So,
yeah.
I mean, this is a hard C+.
Yeah.
A hard C+.
A hard C+. This is definitely a good team, though. Lamar Jackson may just be able to carry you all the way to the promised land if he can stay healthy. And Joe Mixon, like you said, is a guy that is very likable.
I'm not completely off Sterling Shepard either. We didn't really talk about him at all. But, I mean, you saw that, Daniel Jones, he could throw some touchdowns, man. He can. They fall behind. They get up, whatever it is. He likes to ball out. So there's a lot of targets to go around in New York. And Sterling Shepard, I think, will be a solid wide receiver 2 in fantasy.
Okay. You're not worried about Slayton? You're not worried about the other guys?
No, Slayton's more of a field stretcher.
Okay. All right. I also wanted to talk about one guy in his roster. That's Tevin Coleman. Now, Tevin Coleman to me is just about useless to me. I don't think San Francisco was going to use him enough for him to be worth anything. Is he going to get traded? He was okay when he was on the Falcons. So what do you think happens with him?
It's just a usage issue. It's a Shanahan running back. That system is built for running backs. So if you're there and you're getting the snaps and the reps, then yeah, I love you. But
now,
is Mostert going to be the guy? Is Breda going to be the guy? It's week to week there in San Fran. So I don't trust Tevin Coleman to be one of my starting running backs. He's a guy who, if he's on my bench or if I have him in a flex spot, I feel a lot better about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a little nervous there. I would try and he's got no one else to put in there is the problem. So that's why this is this is a hard C+.
Exactly.
There's some really good players there. It's just no depth.
Yeah. I think this guy should put Penny and Ingram in his IR and then just add 2 guys.
Yeah, see what happens. I mean, it's possible though off season they might have
this might be locked.
Has locked player transactions. It says it right there. So
okay.
Gotta wait. Nothing you can do about that right now.
All right, now he is the 102, the 302, the 303, and the 411. With his roster construction, would you draft Tua at 102?
No,
you wouldn't. I wouldn't either.
I am taking one of the stud running backs, whoever it is, whether it's Swift or Taylor or
Dobbins.
Whoever, yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever that be, that's who I'm taking because, like we just talked about, Tevin Coleman as your RB2, you want to get someone else in there. So that's obviously the move.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think if he didn't have a guy like Kirk Cousins, then obviously draft draft Tua. But otherwise, I think that this is a good pick here. If Burrow was at the 102, would you pick him though? Or do you think he will never make it to the 102 in a super flex?
He shouldn't make it to the 102.
Okay.
I mean, that's tough because his next pick is the 302. So you're not getting that running back.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get – with this roster, as hard as it would be to pass up Joe Burrow, I probably would just to make sure I get one of those running backs.
Yeah.
Even though they're a crapshoot. I mean, you never know. You could take –
take the one that's completely
DeAndre Swift at 102, and he could be a total bust, even though I don't think he will be, but it could happen.
Yeah, then the guy you would have taken at 302, some random running back, ends up being the workhorse of some team.
You never know with this shit.
Yeah. All right, now the last 2 rosters here are actually keeper teams. These are straight-up keeper teams. They just wanted to ask us, who are we going to keep on these rosters? So the first team here, we got Garrett. Now, his team, he's a Mets, Jets, Rangers guy, so he just chose all the wrong teams in New York. I'm a Mets fan. I hate the Mets.
Problem is, if you pick any teams in New York right now, they're the wrong team.
Yeah, I was
Yankees.
Yeah, not even the fucking Guardians are good. I was trying to watch before.
Oh, miserable. We suck.
Yeah, okay.
Suck so bad.
Emma Glowin is a fucking.
I was watching it. It was terrible.
Yeah. All right. So after talking about that, this guy, he's just fucked up. He's a New York fan. You can't be doing that. You just got to switch your team. So Ryan Tannehill, Christian McCaffrey, Chris Carson, Adams, Thielen, Lockett, Hunter Henry, Debo Samuel, kicker defense, Matt Ryan, James White, Boone, Madison, Marvin Jones, Anthony Miller, Dallas Goedert. So we got to keep 4 players. Obviously, you're keeping
Keeping
Adams
C-Mac.
and McCaffrey. Very obvious.
Yep.
The rest, it gets a bit dicey. I think I'd keep Debo, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, I'm keeping Debo, and I'm probably keeping Lockett.
Okay. You think you like Lockett or DK Metcalf more this season?
I like Lockett. He's a much better wide receiver. DK had a solid year, but I think Lockett has done it year and year, so I'm going with the consistency there. And he's still Russ's favorite target and always a threat to score. I mean, the guy's a deep threat.
Yeah, I saw some stat that Russell Wilson has never or only once had 2 1,000-yard receivers on his team, and he
runs the ball a lot. Russell Wilson's a big scrambler, and then he spreads the ball around a lot too. And plus, now they're a run-first team, so
yeah.
But it's all about the percentage, like how many balls does he get thrown, how many does he get, how many of those does he catch? Tyler Lockett may only get 9 targets, but he's getting like 8 receptions.
Yeah, exactly.
7 receptions.
DK Metcalf's getting those long balls that are heaved his way that he's got to hope he catches. Now, I think that obviously based on those 4 keepers, you should be very good. Christian McCaffrey is a guy that to me, I don't see him stopping being good. If this was like a real dynasty roster, I don't see McCaffrey stopping being good for the next 6 years, to be honest with you.
Yeah, unless he just completely explodes one day while running.
Yeah, unless he breaks his back carrying the fucking Panthers to 3 wins or whatever.
Christian McCaffrey is the easily 101 for the future.
Mm-hmm. He's amazing.
In all formats.
What do you think about Thielen?
I mean, he's an older wide receiver, though. A lot of people forget that.
Mm-hmm.
And he only really had 1 good year. He's never really consistently been a great wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that if it's Dynasty, I'm trying to get rid of him. If someone else wants him, you can have him. I'm more of a Diggs guy, even though there's some shit going on there. I don't know exactly if he's
I was gonna ask you about that. Do you think he'll even be there, Diggs?
I think he'll end up being there, because I just don't see. I mean, it depends on what some team wants him. I heard there's rumors the Broncos and the Eagles are trying to trade for him, but what are you going to give up for him?
Exactly.
Why would you trade away Stephon Diggs if you're for a second-round pick? And then what are you going to do with that? So
exactly,
you need someone to throw the ball to there. I don't think Adam Thielen is a guy that you can rely on as your sole wide receiver, and they don't have anyone behind them that I think could step up.
Mm-hmm. And now I just read at the bottom, he has his draft picks. He has 2 second-round picks, and I don't even know. This just makes no fucking sense. I don't understand why you would do keeper instead of dynasty in this situation, but his team should be obviously pretty good for the future. What do you think about actually Matt Ryan? I want to talk about him real quick. Do you think that Matt Ryan will return to be good? Because he's like one of those guys where he's hot, then he's cold, then he's hot, then he's cold, on and off every single year.
Yeah, I think he'll be solid still. I think that everyone got so high on him this past season because of his schedule and all the the games he was playing inside in the dome. So he underdelivered, I guess, on that aspect of that. We kind of hyped him up so much. He still had a solid year. I mean, the Falcons as a whole, the team struggled. They're one of those teams that I think they need a new coach to kind of revive everything there.
They'll never get rid of him though.
It's the problem. There's still a lot of talent on that roster, and with Julio and Calvin Ridley there, hopefully Austin Hooper will stay. I don't know what the deal is with him yet, but I mean, Matt Ryan I think is still a top 10 fantasy quarterback.
Yeah, I definitely agree. He got banged up last year as well. So
yeah, he was banged up playing on a team that had some holes and some issues, and the defense really couldn't stop shit. So it really doesn't make it any easier for the offense.
Yeah, their defense for some reason everyone somehow believes will be better every year, and it never is. It's just completely eviscerated.
They rely on 1 or 2 players, and then as soon as they go down, the whole defense crumbles, and that's the problem. It's been like that for the past 2 or 3 years. With what's his name, their linebacker Deion Jones or whatever, and then
Trufant was there.
Keanu O'Neal and whoever else they have that is good and just gets hurt every year. So
yeah, exactly. All right, now the final roster here. This is Danny, a big fan of your brand of the Big Dogs Gotta Eat. Half PPR.
Danny Lads?
I believe so.
Uh-huh.
You know him. All right, half PPR, keep 2 regular players, and a 2019 rookie. So pretty much this is the weirdest construction I've ever seen. So he only has 1 rookie, I believe. I think he has David Montgomery, so that would be obviously who you'd keep there. But I will read off his roster. He's got Dak Prescott, Mark Andrews, or not Mark Andrews, holy shit. Mark Ingram, Christian McCaffrey, Devontae Adams, Brashad Perryman, George Kittle. He has got Boone, Gurley, Lewis, Montgomery, DJ Moore, and Darren Waller.
So he has to keep 2 regular players. He'll only have to keep 3 here.
Yes. So you're
2
keeping
regular players, and obviously you have to keep a 2019
Montgomery.
rookie. So we're going to keep Montgomery, and then who are the 2? Obviously C-Mac. And is this super flex or no? No, I'm not keeping Dak then. I'd probably keep DJ Moore.
Okay.
C-Mac, DJ.
What about Adams? That's the problem. Would you keep Adams?
Yeah, I mean,
Adams
I
and
guess
DJ
that's
Moore are close.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll keep Kittle.
Okay.
I'll keep, because the tight end position is one of those things where there's those 4 or 5 guys that, are the top echelon tight ends. And outside of that, there's really no one else. So if you can lock in that position and just know you don't have to worry about it, it's just such a stress reliever. Come draft day, you don't have to worry about grabbing a tight end. You can just focus on those skill players where there's so many more guys. There's, so many more wide receivers that you can draft to fill those spots than tight ends. So lock it in with the tight end. C-Mac, you keep your rookie. You got your running backs all set. Now you're just drafting wide receivers. That's it.
Exactly. And there's no need to keep a quarterback at all. Like, even if I had Lamar Jackson, I don't even know. I guess I would keep him.
You're not keeping a quarterback. It's a 1-quarterback league. You don't keep a quarterback.
Yeah, Dak, you would never think about.
No, you're not going to, especially with the whole situation going on. You don't even know if he's going to play or start for the season. He can miss games. Who knows with that contract issue. Yeah, I'm keeping C-Mac. Like, you can make the argument for Adams, sure, but, I mean, he had kind of a bust year.
Yeah, he didn't. It's because he got hurt, though.
Yeah, he got hurt, but like the Packers were a run-first team. They focused through the running game. So Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers is getting old, and if you want him, just draft him because he's going to be lower than where he was this year. He got drafted very high this year, early, first 1-6, 1-7. I think you'll be able to get him towards either maybe the early second round maybe this year. It could be a 2-2. So I wouldn't keep him. I would go with the tight end for sure.
Okay. What are your thoughts on last question here before we end it? What are your thoughts about Waller? What do you think about him? Darren Waller.
For like a dynasty prospect?
Yeah, like do you think overall, like for the future he'll be okay, or do you think that like maybe he's a 1-year wonder?
I probably would go with like the 1-year wonder. Didn't they already give him a contract? They paid him.
I'm pretty sure
he's good for like the next 3 years. Who's going to be the quarterback there? Is it Derek Carr or is it Tom Brady?
Yeah, if it's not Derek Carr, I'm worried.
If Tom Brady ends up in Las Vegas, then I love Darren Waller.
Really?
Yeah, I think he'll get a ton of targets. I think you'd see, Tom Brady would want to be able to find a way to get him involved because that's how he operates. He gets, him and Bill, they've always worked on trying to get their players to fit their, whoever's good on that roster who can do things, they make him do things and they get him the ball. So you got Darren Waller. I would try and get him some targets. But as a dynasty asset, I have really no interest in trying to buy him. I would try and sell him probably if you can get some value for him because, like I said, it's the tight end position. So someone's probably looking for a tight end. But yeah, I mean, he's also a Raider too. So like he's trash.
Yeah, exactly.
He's Raider trash. So I personally,
you personally don't like him.
Fuck Darren Waller.
Okay, good to know. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. Shout out to Danny McKinnon is his name who sent this in. I don't remember what name you said earlier. May have been the wrong name. Who knows?
Might have been.
Shout out to him.
I don't know if it's the same person or not.
His name's Danny Football on Twitter. He tweets at you guys all the time.
It's probably Danny Lads. I think Danny Lads was from like when we did the AAF thing or something.
Okay, maybe. Who knows? So
I believe he was in a league with us for when we did the AAF. It was the disaster that was. We had a fantasy league.
Yeah, I remember that. I would never play XFL fantasy until it's been like 3 years in the making or something until I can actually.
Yeah, that's exactly our plan. We figured, let's see if it survives this season, and then once there's like a little foundation built, next year if we want to do it, we can get involved.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you guys all for watching this video. Obviously, if you guys enjoyed, make sure to click that subscribe button. Check out Max. Shout out whatever you want for them to follow, subscribe.
I got nothing. I got my Twitter, and then make sure you're watching the Big Dog channel. And, support us there. We got Fade the Public. Nick's got his other videos. We got bunk bed breakdowns for Dynasty. So if you guys want more Dynasty content, head over there and watch bunk bed breakdowns because Mike and Noah, they give much better analysis than I do.
No, me too. That's why I had Noah come on here. Noah pretty much just ran the show.
Yeah, Noah's going to start giving you like numbers and analytics and real nerdy shit that you want and you need to know.
No, you don't need to know it.
I'm not going to do that research. I'm right here. It's all here. It's all in the eyes.
Exactly.
I watch it, I see it, and then I learn from that. So.
See it, read it, believe it. That's what I do.
That's it.
All right, guys. Have a great rest of your day. I love you all. Shout out to Nick Ercolano also. He answered my fucking DM on Instagram. He's coming on one of these days.
Yeah?
In April,
That's a good analysis.
I DM'd him. No, we're just going to do the interview like that we did. But
okay.
Yeah, I just DM'd him, and then he read it, and then it was on red for like 3 days, and then he finally answered today. So shout out to him.
There you go.
Yeah,
He's got an answer. Exactly. He doesn't answer me half the time, so.
Exactly. All right. I'm more important, clearly. So.
I believe it.
All right. See you guys later. I love you all. Goodbye.